In the chilling annals of true crime, few names evoke as much dread as the Zodiac Killer. But what if the terror he unleashed wasn't fully understood, even by those who tirelessly hunted him? What if, hidden in plain sight, were ciphers he sent, not just to taunt police, but to reveal something far more sinister about his motives, his identity, or perhaps his ultimate goal? For decades, we've focused on the solved, or famously unsolved, ciphers. Today, we delve into the forgotten, the overlooked, and the potentially game-changing codes that could forever alter our perception of America's most elusive serial killer. To truly grasp the significance of these forgotten ciphers, we must first revisit the terrifying landscape of late 1960s California. The Zodiac Killer burst onto the scene with a brutality that stunned the nation. His reign of terror began in December 1968, escalating rapidly through the summer and fall of 1969. But what made him unique, beyond the sheer audacity of his crimes, was his macabre correspondence. He didn't just kill, he communicated. He wrote to newspapers, confessing to his heinous acts, often including chilling details only the killer would know. And critically, he included ciphers, cryptographic puzzles designed to reveal his identity, his philosophy, or so we thought. The Z408 cipher was quickly cracked by a Salinas schoolteacher and his wife, revealing a rambling, ego-driven message about collecting slaves for the afterlife. Then came the Z340, a far more complex beast, which remained famously unsolved for over 50 years until a team of amateur cryptographers finally cracked it in 2020, revealing another cryptic message about fame and the fear of being caught. But what about the others? The Z13, the Z32, the multitude of other scribbled symbols and obscure references embedded in his letters and cards? These are the forgotten fragments, dismissed by some as mere red herrings or nonsensical scribbles, yet potentially holding the key to a truth far stranger than fiction. The real mystery deepens when we venture beyond the well-trodden paths of the Z408 and Z340. Not every piece of paper sent by Zodiac was a neatly structured cipher. Many were letters peppered with strange symbols, odd numbering systems, or drawings that seemed to defy easy interpretation. Consider the infamous Halloween card sent to Paul Avery of the San Francisco Chronicle in October 1970. On its surface, it was a grotesque greeting card adorned with a ghoulish figure, inscribed with the words, "Peekaboo, you are doomed." But look closer. Inside, Zodiac had altered the original design. He scratched out parts of skeletons and added specific numbers, a Z symbol, and a chilling-looking eye. Was this just artistic flair from a deranged mind? Or was it a visual cipher, a hidden message layered within the macabre artwork? Cryptographers have long debated the precise significance of these alterations, with many dismissing them as irrelevant. Yet the meticulousness of the killer, his compulsion to communicate, suggests nothing he did was without purpose. Then there's the "My Name Is" letter, sent in April 1970, which included a bizarre 13-symbol cipher. This particular code, the Z13, consisted of symbols that didn't immediately align with any known cryptographic system. Was it a simple substitution cipher, a monoalphabetic one, or something far more complex? Perhaps even a personal code developed by the killer himself. The frustration among law enforcement and amateur sleuths grew. They had encountered a mind that reveled in intellectual games as much as it did in terror. Each unsolved cipher, each ambiguous drawing, added another layer to his mythos, making him seem less like a man and more like a phantom. Some began to theorize that Zodiac wasn't just communicating with the police, he was communicating with a specific individual, or perhaps with a small elite group who understood his particular brand of symbolism. This raised an even more chilling question. Was Zodiac part of a larger operation, or was he a deeply disturbed lone wolf whose grandiosity led him to believe he was an intellectual equal to the world's most brilliant codebreakers? Now let's turn our attention to the real forgotten treasures, the ciphers that have been pushed to the fringes of the Zodiac narrative, often deemed too short, too unconventional, or too complex to even begin to unravel. Take, for instance, the Badlands or Melanin letter elements. which, while not a traditional cipher, contained an obscure symbol that looked like a combination of mathematical notations and alchemical sigils. Some researchers believe this symbol may have been Zodiac's personal signature within cryptology, a unique marker. What if this wasn't just a sign-off, but a key to a much larger, overarching cipher that tied together all his communications? Imagine a meta-cipher, where the solution to one small, seemingly insignificant code unlocks the method for deciphering others. Cryptographers have explored polyalphabetic ciphers, homophonic substitution, and even visionaire ciphers for Zodiac's work. But what if the Z13, for example, wasn't meant to be solved on its own? What if it was a component of a larger puzzle, its solution dependent on information derived from the Halloween card, or even the small, seemingly random groupings of numbers found in the margins of other letters? This approach, known as cipher chaining, is incredibly difficult to detect, let alone solve, without an initial Rosetta Stone. Think about a key that doesn't just unlock a message but alters the very language of subsequent messages. This idea brings us to the most unsettling hypothesis, that Zodiac's true identity, his exact location, or even his complete manifesto, might not be explicitly stated in any single letter. Instead, it could be meticulously distributed across dozens of seemingly unrelated correspondences, a sprawling, intricate web of coded information, each piece a mere fragment. Imagine the scale of his psychological warfare, not just through murder, but through decades-long cryptographic misdirection. What if the symbols in the famous Z340, even after its recent solution, were meant to lead us astray, while a simpler yet overlooked series of symbols directly pointed to his identity, perhaps disguised as a simple numerical sequence or an almost invisible pattern in one of his letters' layouts? The thought that we might have overlooked the most straightforward clues while obsessing over the most complex ones is truly unsettling. The Z32, for instance, was another tantalizingly short cipher, dismissed by many as a fragment. Yet its cryptic nature, like a glimpse into a much larger codebook, raises the chilling possibility that it contains a highly condensed, crucial piece of information, perhaps a name, a date, or a location, only decipherable when cross-referenced with a specific overlooked symbol or number from another letter. The sheer volume of material, combined with the killer's cunning, suggests that some of his most vital secrets may remain hidden, not because they are impossible to solve, but because we haven't yet connected the right, seemingly disparate dots. To this day, the Zodiac Killer remains an enigmatic specter, a testament to the chilling power of an unsolved mystery. The forgotten ciphers, the obscure symbols, and the tantalizing fragments of code are more than just historical curiosities. They are echoes of a terrifying mind, continually challenging us. Could the solution to Zodiac's identity lie not in a grand, overarching revelation, but in the meticulous examination of these overlooked details? The very act of Zodiac creating these complex puzzles underscores a deep-seated desire not just to shock, but to prove his intellectual superiority, and perhaps to play a long game with posterity. Perhaps the ultimate key isn't a single brilliant cryptographic breakthrough, but rather a patient, painstaking effort to connect every last seemingly insignificant piece of his communication puzzle. The psychological impact of Zodiac's reign of terror is undeniable, but it's the intellectual terror, the code of silence he built with his ciphers, that truly endures. The hunt for answers continues, fueled by the hope that one day one of these forgotten passages will finally speak, revealing the name of the man who haunted California and left a permanent scar on the American psyche. If you found this dive into the cryptographic labyrinth of the Zodiac compelling, I encourage you to check out my next video, where we explore another chilling unsolved case, the mysteries surrounding Jack the Ripper's canonical 5 victims and the cryptic letters he allegedly sent to Scotland Yard.